Well, hello there, and welcome to today's lesson. In the previous 5 lessons, I've actually explained the civil war within. I talked about the war between your fears, doubts, hesitations, beliefs, patterns, and your desires, your experience, your education, your knowledge, your specialized knowledge, that there's a war that goes on. And that war takes place when you're about to make a decision of what to do and when it's okay to stop. And I've asked you the question, what is good? How do you define good? Because good is your indication of comfort. It's where you think you belong. We talked about what are you willing to do to create the results that you want. And we asked the opposite question is, what are you unwilling to do to create the results you want? To give you kind of a picture, because generally speaking, you're only willing to do so much, but you really want this much, and that's a problem. Make sure I stay in the camera there. You want this much, but you're only willing to do this much. That's a problem. Or you want something that you need to perform at a level here, but historically speaking, you've only been willing to perform here. So you're only willing to make so many phone calls. You're only willing to call certain people. You're only willing to ask for so much. That those are the manifestations of that civil war. And then in the last lesson, we talked about the stories you tell yourself about why you can or can't do something. And that those stories ultimately are based on your fears, doubts, beliefs. And if you change the story, you'll change what you do, the quality, the quantity, and the willingness to do what it takes to get what you want. Well, that's been all well and good. And everyone's real comfortable with more understanding, more knowledge, more, let's feel good about where we are. Now that I got a better understanding of why I do this. But I think now it's time we start to make some changes, don't you? Just knowing you've got this civil war and knowing 4 ways to measure where you are, that's sweet, but it's really quite worthless unless you start using it to do something differently. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And I basically call this my stop method of greater success. And there's no website, there's no trademark, it's just what I call it. The stop method of creating success. And it basically asks you to do 2 things, 2 simple things. You can do it, I can do it, everybody can do it if they want to. And here's all I'm asking you to do. Before you do something that creates a result you want, I ask you to stop and ask, is what I'm about to do gonna get me what I want, or is it gonna really set me back? Ask that question. Is what I'm about to do going to get me what I truly want, or is it just something to say I did something, to keep me busy, to say I put forth some effort, or something other than getting you what you want? So we have a formula up here that we're using with our immediate results marketing program. And I talked about all this stuff here. And one of the things that we do is we make exposures. And in the real world, an exposure is a phone call, it's a contact. And before you start doing this, I want you to stop and ask the question, are the people I'm about to contact today quality? Are they 0 on the quality scale, 1, 2, or 3? And if they're not at least 2 or 3, I want you don't call them. Don't even waste your time. Find someone who's a 2 or 3 and call them. When you're sitting down and you're about to demonstrate that you can solve their problem, and if you're taking that program, you got to ask some questions. Are you asking powerful questions to get to their pain or not? If you're not going to do that, don't even waste your time. Just do like all the other marketers and just spew out information until they say, let me think about it, and then they say no. If you are trying to improve your body, for those of you who are not marketers, I apologize. Just had to go through that for the marketers. For those of you who are trying to improve your health, your fitness, your attractiveness, before you eat a meal, How about asking the question? How about stopping and asking the question, is this going to contribute to the body I want, or is it going to destroy it? If you stopped and asked that question, you'd be amazed that maybe you'll make different choices. Now, I recommend that if you're eating out or before you cook, you ask that question before you order. You don't want to order like some big, fat, juicy steak with some deep fried French fries and stuff like that and then realize, whoa, I shouldn't have ordered this. This is going to destroy my body. So ask the question before you order it. Is what I'm about to order good for me, good for my body, or is it destructive? When you're thinking about exercise and you're making excuses about why, no, I can't exercise now, I gotta watch this TV program, you can ask the question. Stop, ask the question. Is this gonna give me the body, the income, or anything else that I want? That's what I want you to do. That's the first thing I want you to do. Before you do something, ask the question, is this gonna truly give me what I want? Or am I making an excuse? Am I letting my fears, doubts, and hesitations stop me from doing what I know I need to do? Ask that question. I dare you. And then, secondly, when you're done doing whatever it is you think you're doing that's going to make you more successful, for example, back to the marketing. If you sat down to make an hour's worth of phone calls, but you ended up only in that hour talking to one person for 5 minutes, and it was someone you really knew and just talked about the weather, before you say, I've done my job for today, how about you stop again and say, did what I just did, that might not be the best of English, but you know what I'm talking about. Did what I just do, or, excuse me, will what I just did get me what I want? Or did I just make myself feel good by doing something? When you're done exercising, if you exercised, how about asking the question, will this amount and quality and quantity of exercise get me the body I want? Or did I just do something so I could say I exercised? And I want you to apply that to every part of your life, your relationships, your finances. Am I about to spend money? Is this going to get me the wealth I want, or am I just making myself feel good? Your work, whatever it is that's important to you, I want you to stop before you start and ask, is this going to get me what I want, or is this just something I'm doing to make myself feel good? And when you're done doing something, ask the question, did I do it with sufficient quality and quantity to move me closer to the dreams and the goals and the life I want? Or did I just do something so I could check off a list of accomplishments and say, I did it, I did something? That's all. If you will do that, you will begin to start to confront your civil war within. And the two parts of you that are at war are going to have to answer those questions. Am I doing the right thing? And did I do enough? And that's what I want you to do. So below this video, as always, is a place to leave a comment. I'd love to know what you think. And I'd love to know if you're committed to doing these two actions, or will your fears, doubts, hesitations, patterns, and beliefs keep you from doing those things? This is your biggest supporter, Mark Delaney. I'll see you in the next lesson.